One way to secure an advantage is to capture an undefended piece. For example, my knight on f6. A piece that is undefended is called a hanging piece. In this lesson, we will focus on capturing hanging pieces. My queen is guarded by her pawn, so she is not hanging. Take my queen and see what happens. My pawn sharpens his blade and takes vengeance. My queen was not hanging because she was defended by my pawn. Your bishop attacks two pieces, but only one of them is hanging. Do you see which? Be careful. My knight was not hanging. Your bishop attacks two pieces, but only one of them is hanging. Do you see which? Correct. The rook was defending the knight, but nothing was defending my rook. Let's look at another example of capturing a hanging piece. There are several morsels on display, but only one is safe to eat. Take your pick. Delicious. When there are more pieces on the board, it's important to slow down and notice how each piece defends or does not defend its neighbors. Which of my pieces is undefended? Spot on. My queen was hanging because none of my pieces can immediately recapture your knight. Whenever your opponent moves, ask yourself, what is defending the piece that just moved? Sometimes, there will be no defense and you can take it. Kudos, Marco. You won my bishop and the game. That's checkmate. Let's do another one. My bishop attacks your pawn. Your turn. What defends my bishop? Nothing. I concede it was foolish to leave my bishop hanging. Sometimes the piece your opponent moves will be safe, but there will be a hanging piece elsewhere. Look at all the long-range attacks your pieces can make, and you will find one of my pieces is undefended. Well done. Sometimes when an enemy piece moves, it leaves a piece hanging. Do you see how my move left a piece defenseless? Well spotted. Look for these opportunities whenever your opponent moves. Here is another example of the same idea. My bishop moved. What was it defending? Can you capitalize on the opportunity? That pawn wasn't hanging. My king can capture your bishop now. My bishop moved. What was it defending? Can you capitalize on the opportunity? Right you are. This might seem simple, but you'd be surprised how many beginners fall prey to these sorts of mistakes. Now let's get some practice. Let's say I do this. Do you see the opportunity? Precisely. Your rook is attacking my hanging knight, so I decide to retreat it to safety. But now there is another hanging target. Do you see it? That's it. When your opponent does something provocative, like capture one of your pieces, it's natural to want to capture it back immediately. Resist the urge and look for better moves before moving impulsively. There is a valuable piece hanging here. Do you see it? You found an excellent move by avoiding the temptation to immediately capture my pawn. Well played. If I move my pawn, will you capture it immediately? There's a more valuable hanging piece you can capture. Keep looking. Will you capture it immediately? Bravo! My pawn on b5 appears to be defended by my pawn on a6, but this is an illusion. Capture it. If I impulsively recapture, do you see the hanging piece that you can capture now? You noticed that my rook was hanging. Well played. Here's a fun one. My bishop on g2 attacks your rook. Your move. Sharp eyes. This one is tricky for some of my students. Do you notice the hanging piece in this position? My other rook can recapture. Look for a truly undefended piece instead. This one is tricky for some of my students. Do you notice the hanging piece in this position? Right you are. Long-distance moves can be hard to notice. Let's see here. Perhaps I will push a pawn. Have a look and find the best response. Indeed, my pawn was hanging. My king is in check by your queen. I think I will block. Perhaps you will exchange queens. Don't let me fool you. There was a hanging piece you could have captured. Perhaps you will exchange queens. Nicely played, Marco. I'll move my bishop to safety. With practice, you'll automatically notice when a piece is hanging. Your move. Nice move. Your board vision is getting stronger. If I hastily develop my knight, do you see what I forgot about? Keep looking. There was an undefended piece that you can capture. Do you see what I forgot about? You saw it. The battlefield is crowded. I think I will attack your queen. Your move. That is not a bad move, but there was a much better one. Take that move back and look for a piece that you can capture with your queen. Your move. Oh dear, I left my bishop hanging. I didn't leave anything undefended this time, did I? Your queen has wrought havoc on my position, capturing 2 undefended pieces. Well played. In this position, you are threatening to take my queen. 2 can play at that game. How will you respond? This move allows me to capture your queen. You could save your queen and capture a hanging piece instead. Look at all of the queen possible captures, and you will find it. How will you respond? Your queen escaped the danger and captured a piece at once. Well played. I think I will threaten your knight. What can you do about it? Your knight is safe for the moment, but there is a better move for you which involves taking one of my hanging pieces. What can you do about it? Wonderful. You captured a pawn and checked my king. I must respond to the check, giving you time to get your knight to safety. Your bishop is attacking my knight, but I can retreat and return the favor. Now my knight attacks your bishop. Will you retreat to safety? Take that move back and look for a bishop capture instead. Now my knight attacks your bishop. Will you retreat to safety? I suppose my knight was hanging. Well, I'm down a piece and out of ideas. Do you have any ideas? I missed that move, but you didn't. Well played. Opportunities can arise at any time. I'll castle. What should you do? That wasn't hanging. What should you do? Very good. Your final challenge is a difficult one. But you know what to do. You've won a knight, for the moment, but it's important to look out for counterattacks. You're in check, and all of your options from here are bad. Try it and you'll see. I will trade queens and then win your rook. Your only legal move is to recapture my queen. And now I win the rook. This is why taking my knight was a bad idea from the beginning of this position. But you know what to do. Exactly. You've checked me, and my best response is to block. And now you have another beautiful opportunity. I'll admit this was a tricky one, but you managed to solve it. Nice work, Marco. It's been a long journey, and you've made it to the end of this lesson. Nice work, Marco. Keep your eyes open for hanging pieces and you will decimate your opponents.